Welcome back to another episode of Alestletics. Sam Mirren joining you alongside Audrey O'Rennick. And today a very special guest in studio. We have Caleb Tyus from SIUE Wrestling. Caleb, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing well. Audrey, you doing good?
Yes.
And we're very excited to have Caleb in. We've obviously I don't remember how many weeks ago it was, over the summer maybe, we had his coaches in with the announcement of the eventual coaching change that's coming to the wrestling program. But aside from that, wrestling has made news on its own this season, having a very successful year, as well as Caleb himself having quite a run. So Caleb, maybe we'll just jump right into it. How has it been for you on the mat and kind of enjoying the success of the season so far?
Honestly, I mean, I love it. Anytime I'm on the mat, I love it, especially after last year. I took a year off. I had 2 shoulder surgeries, so, sitting back and watching really made me hungry to really compete again. So being able to do that and come back and especially kind of grow and be successful this season feels next level.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a little bit about Caleb. Obviously, he competes in the 149 weight class. He is 19-1 overall in this season. So you're thinking, well, that's pretty good. Well, yes. Well, yes, it is very good.
Yes.
In fact, it's so good for most of the season. Caleb has been ranked number 3rd nationally. So, and recently, as of, what was it, yesterday? Yesterday, ranked number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, congratulations, Caleb. I'm sure that's very exciting for you.
Yes.
And funny enough, so Caleb, we've mentioned this on the show. Caleb is my instructor for a what is the class? Is it weights?
It's intro to weight.
Oh
weight
man, that
training.
now
I
you're
forgot about that.
you didn't have to put the intro on there, Caleb. Now you're making me look bad. So I'm learning from the best, everybody.
Yes.
Number 2 in the nation in 149 weight class. So, but anyway, I gave you some grief the other day about being ranked 3. I was like, Caleb, every time the rankings come out, I'm always waiting for a 1 or a 2, and you're like, I don't know if it's ever going to happen, and then right before you come on our show and you get number 2.
Yep.
So congratulations for that. Something else that I saw while I was doing kind of some research on this is I saw your dad, Sean, competed for SIUE from 2003 to 2007. I'm sure that kind of has a special place in your heart. Can you kind of talk about wrestling here, kind of in a legacy after your dad?
Yeah, so I mean, it was always something I thought about. In my house, we have all these pictures hanging up. I have like a little card, his picture on it, and the years he went here, and his shadow box just always was in the downstairs. So just seeing that every day, and it was right next to our practice room. So I saw that every day. And when it came time to make the college decision, it definitely was in the back of my head. And obviously, I live 15 minutes away from here, so
yeah.
Between that and COVID going on, it wasn't really, that kind of shut down some of the recruiting. So I was like, might as well go back home, go where my dad started off. Yeah.
Absolutely. And really, it's kind of been a success for the team as a whole. You've had a really good crew of guys that have made the team a top nationally ranked team as well, not just individuals, not trying to take away from anything you've done, but It seems like it's really a team effort to make the team competitive nationally. Yeah,
I mean, there's no one person. Every person feeds off the next person, especially when we're going into these duels. We want to start off strong and finish strong. I mean, it takes all 10 guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Just some background on the SIUE team here as a whole. The first meet of the season was NIU, I believe. Or no, that was the last, excuse me.
Yes.
Correction. That was the last meeting of the season, regular season, was with NIU, and it was a very close, tight meeting between the two teams, a 16-15 on a tiebreaker criteria, correct?
Yes.
And so that was the clinching meet to win the MAC West Division. Talk about that moment and how it was for the team and the coaches as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say that we've seen a lot of growth over the years. When I came in freshman year, we were 1-14 as a team, and that's just crazy to think about how much growth we've seen, how we've totally turned around the program, and that's a testament to the coaches, Daryl and Spates. But what we were talking about, the NIU.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was definitely a special moment for the program. It was the first time we've ever done this. Won a conference title as a program, I think, almost ever. I mean, I want to say almost ever, especially in the MAC. I know we joined the MAC probably 8 to 10 years ago. So really just keep climbing the rankings. And it was definitely big against NIU. I know our coach Daryl, he used to coach there, so that was definitely a big moment for him. And just all the guys there, we did what it took, each guy, and it came down to just total points scored, and we had just two more points than them. And honestly, it was just a crazy experience just to be there and live it out.
A little bit about MAC West standings. We have SIUE in first, 5-1, and then NIU follows right behind, 4-2. And third, we have Central Michigan, 3-3. Fourth is University at Buffalo, 3-5. 5 is Kent State, 2-7, and 6 is Ohio University, 1-6.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, Central Michigan being 3-3 was the only team that you guys lost to. And I want to throw out there that it was after being postponed originally, so that is a caveat. Put a star
asterisk,
next.
put an asterisk next to that.
Put a star next to that loss. But I mean, talk about going into the MAC playoffs. It kind of resets. Everything goes back to a clean slate a little bit. I mean, you're the top dogs, and everyone's going to want to earn that spot and get the win over you guys. How are you guys preparing for that championship playoff kind of setting?
Yeah, so our coaches do a good job of implementing certain mindset. They tell us this is a whole new season. We go in there, you're 0-0, go in there ready to start off this season strong, just feed off the next guy. And that's why they just always talk about just feeding off energy. We talk about having positive energy, and just starting it off right away.
Absolutely. So, speaking of those MAC playoffs, those will begin on March 6th in Buffalo, New York. What an out there kind of place, not where I would expect this to be. And then a secondary day will follow on March 7th. And then the NCAA tournament, which will begin on March 19th and go throughout the 21st of March, is in Cleveland, Ohio. And really, obviously, I think that's the goal, is to make the NCAA tournament. But even though it's not here yet, how can you really prepare through these MAC playoffs for individually or as a team?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as deciding who gets to go, the NCAA sent out each weight class gets a different number of bids or allocations. So my weight class at 149 pounds, the top 4 people who place at conference go to the NCAAs, and they have certain things like at-large bids. So like me, if I were to go 0-2 or at conference and get last place, I would probably get pulled into the national tournament. So there are small stuff like that, but really it's just about making sure you wrestle the best, really as hard as you can. Most people, this is going to be their last competitions of the season, like all my teammates. So I'm just going to be going in. I like to let everybody know that I trust them. I talk to my teammates. I try to uplift them as much as possible. I think that's, once again, the creating the energy, the positive energy, especially coming off that MAC West title, just making sure that we're wrestling with that in the back of our minds, and just going from there.
Yeah. And do you feel like there's a lot of pressure, especially, I know with other sports it's kind of difficult because it's really it's a 1v1. Yeah. I know it's a team sport still, but ultimately it's a 1v1, and most of the time there's rankings tied to those numbers as well. And I know I kind of grilled you about being third for so long, but I mean, is there pressure behind that, and how do you deal with that pressure going into these playoff style matches?
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, there is always going to be a certain type of pressure. I think the most important thing is just not letting it get to you. I honestly don't look at rankings. I don't like to look at them. I don't like to really just sit and just say, oh, I'm number 2. I'm second in the country. I'm so good. No, I just try to just do what I can, control the controllables. As long as I'm practicing as hard as I can and doing the right things, it'll show on the mat.
For sure. Well, it's a lot to look forward to, and thankfully here at SIUE we have a lot going on.
Yeah.
It kind of made my note sheet a little fuller than I thought it was going to be. Let's just go over some quick things here with track specifically. Both men's and women's track competed in the OVC Indoor Championship, and while the team winnings kind of went all to SEMO. SEMO very well dominating.
All on that podium.
Yeah, I hate to see it, man. No, I'm just joking. SEMO, you're fine. Your bar stool's funny. That's all they got. Yeah,
that's true.
We commonly talk about this on the show as SEMO's bar stool. However, individual efforts for the Cougars were very good. We have Grant Milbrath, who had a school record in a 22.34 meter weight throw. unbelievable. And then Tegan Sullivan with a 18-foot, 8.5-inch second place long jump. So that was on day one. The Cougars followed that up with a better day two. Tyler Bell had a 7.96 second 60-meter hurdle run, and that placed second and also set a school record. Peyton Carter had a 12-foot, 3.25-inch pole vault jump, which was also a school record. And then Grant Milbrath, he gets back into the action here with a 54 feet, 3.5-inch shot put, which is insane, by the way. I just have to throw that out there. As a track coach, all of our kids, they're like maybe 25 feet at the most.
Yeah.
This is middle school, too, so obviously it's very different. But when I saw that number, I was like, oh, yeah, that's definitely noteworthy.
Yeah.
First place as well for Grant. And then Mia Jackson with an 8.63 second 60-meter hurdle run as well. That got her third place and third best in SIUE history. So lots of takeaways there for the Cougars on the track and in the field. And then obviously basketball has a very important set of games tonight at 3:30 p.m. for the men and 1 p.m. for the women. And it's senior night, so get out there. They're playing Eastern, and so it's a revenge match for the men, and it's a important game for the women if they're going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
So there's your Cougar rundown. Oh man, that's a lot of breath. Ooh, I feel like I just ran a 60-meter hurdle just talking about all the sports. But yeah, there's a lot going on. And Caleb, maybe you can talk about this kind of just with being a part of the wrestling team. There's a lot of success here at SIUE recently. Baseball and softball. We're about to start March, and that'll begin kind of OVC play for them. They had a really good season last year. Obviously, the basketball teams have had some success, as well as soccer's a known successful. I mean, really, you can't
all around. Yeah,
you can't point anywhere and say what there's disappointment. For the wrestling team, though, I feel like they've really made a name for themselves, and it's been kind of something that goes under the water a little bit, especially with the more attention-seeking sports, so to speak.
Yeah.
So how can you kind of, as an athlete, bring more attention to wrestling here at SIUE, and in order to help the program to continue to grow?
I mean, me myself, obviously, my goal is to be national champ, All-American, and I think that in itself would help just to bring maybe new recruits to the program, bring more awareness. I know Andrew Gavin, him coming from up in Wisconsin, which was a big wrestling school, so he's done a good job of just getting more awareness towards the wrestling program, and we've had the chancellor there multiple times. So I think just them at least showing their faces, showing that they support SIUE wrestling has helped us this far, and I think it will continue to help us in the future.
Yeah, I think a national championship would definitely
that'll do it.
That might help you out a little bit. No, that's really cool though, and I definitely know after speaking with Andrew Gavin on some offhand occasions, like he does care about the wrestling program. And you know what, really, it makes sense. I mean, Illinois, I think, is relatively well known, especially Southern Illinois, a lot of high schools. So I know your coaches, or I believe Daryl might have mentioned something about like recruiting from, a lot of the local schools. It does Edwardsville? Yeah, Edwardsville, because you competed with Edwardsville, correct?
So I was like 15 minutes away.
Okay. So, but Edwardsville, I believe they have a wrestling program. So, I mean, there's a lot to draw from there as well. But yeah, I mean, really, it's a kind of crazy that it's taken SIUE this long to kind of get competitive with it. Yeah, I know the sports is still kind of growing for the school, but for you, it's got to be exciting, especially like you mentioned 15 minutes away, kind of watching the program grow itself and be a factor of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely exciting. Once again, just seeing where we came just from my freshman year till now, it's definitely cool just to be a part of, and I'm glad that I was able to come here, being a fifth year on the team, just see that, help show the younger guys kind of the ropes, and hopefully they can continue it after I'm gone.
Well, maybe you can pass some things to me too in our weights class.
Have you ever seen Sam's pull-ups? He can do some mean pull-ups.
It's funny. I tried doing pull-ups the other day, and I was like, man, this is not going well for me.
We'll get Sam.
Sorry.
There. Yeah, we'll get you there.
Oh man. Audrey, you saw me do pull-ups like 2 years ago.
I was gonna say sometimes when he gets really angry, he just does pull-ups.
That's true. I have done that before. Yeah, it was not. It's probably not pretty in the class. Caleb has to watch me struggle through as I try to do like a simple curl or something like that. But no, I do say like, oh yeah, it's funny because I'll think about it like, well, when I asked you to be on the show, I was number 3 or now number 2.
Yeah.
my weights instructor, I should be getting paid.
How do you feel, Sam?
You know what? I feel it. It kicks my butt sometimes.
I love that. I love when my students some students will come up to me and like actually talk to me about wrestling and say they like congratulations and everything. And I love to hear it. Especially I have Grant Milbrath. He's in one of my classes, so I love talking to him, talking about track and all that.
Yeah. Actually, let's talk a little bit about the instructing. Just kind of more into it. Is it something you want to do further, or do you just enjoy it for the fun of the game?
I would say I'm just doing it for now. I mean, I might get into coaching and stuff in the future, but I don't enjoy as much college level
Weight training.
Weight training. You know, I enjoy. I'm going into physical therapy, so I enjoy like educating people on just health and kind of physical health and all that, but not as much in the classroom as much.
That's right. You heard it here first. People like me scared
yeah.
Caleb away.
No.
Bums like me scared him away. Oh no, that's too funny. No, it's. Well, it was very ironic when we had the first class, and I'm like, this guy looks really familiar. I can't put my finger on it. I know I've seen him around. And then I did camera for one of the athletic events, and I was like, oh my gosh. The lines are adding up here. No, it's too funny. Well, Caleb, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate having you on. I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, I'll see you on Monday.
But not Wednesday, because you'll be competing.
I'll be
and
leaving.
that's the funny thing when you mentioned that in class. I was like, I know why we're off. At least I'm informed. That's
yes, hopefully we're off for the NCAA tournament
Yes,
too.
yes.
Yeah, right. Not for anything else.
Yeah.
No other reason to be off. Well, you can check out Alestle After Hours, which also released at 10 a.m. here on Spotify or YouTube. And next week, the Alestle will be in print, releasing on Thursday with some election info on there, as well as we just posted. So the Alestle After Hours was about our trip to Chicago, and by our trip I mean everyone else on our editorial staff. So go listen to that as they tell you about actually, I forgot to mention, this is an award-winning podcast.
Best in the state.
There we go.
That's right. Everyone else in Illinois can eat it. No, I'm just kidding. So while the Cougars are succeeding on the field, our show is succeeding here with the sports podcast. The episode that was submitted was the one with Andrew Gavin. So thank you so much to all those that support our show. And as someone joked the other day, all 5 listeners. No, I'm just kidding. We get more. Someone said that. One of our coworkers said that. I was like, mean. I was like, there's more than 5. There's at least 12.
Yeah, there's your dad. There's my mom.
Yeah, shout out to Audrey's mom and my dad for being the OGs, you know? All right, well, that definitely ends our show for today. Thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget to follow the Alestle After Hours on Instagram or Alestletics on X, and we'll be back next week with a bunch of new episodes for each show. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.